Actually this evening because I'm live streaming this program. So I want to say good evening to everyone. It's already 5:30. We can start immediately. Yes, last week, you recall, if you are with me last week in this same room, we talked about how to verify the genuineness of our vehicle insurance. There's a platform, NII, the National Insurance Industry Database. If you log into the platform, you'll be able to, it will give you the status of your car insurance. If it is active, if it is expired, it will tell you everything about your vehicle. So that was what we talked about. So I believe by now we can all check. We can always validate our vehicle insurance if it is genuine or not. So that's what we talked about last week. So today we'll be looking at something interesting again. Another topic we'll be looking at how to retain employees with a robust insurance welfare package. Someone will say, what do you mean by that? How is insurance? And what does insurance have to do with a welfare package? Yes, insurance has a lot to do with welfare package in organization. We all know that in organizations that have juicy packages and all that, a friendly, a conducive working environment and all that, people don't always leave such organization because they are enjoying some benefits there. When you see people, changing jobs here and there because they are not satisfied yet, maybe with the boss they are working with or with the environment or with the salary and all that. So a lot of factors adds to what makes people not to stay long in an organization. But one of the things that can make employees to stay long in an organization is in the packages, apart from salary, the welfare, what the organization has put together. Thank you for joining me. Kindly mute your mic. Thank you very much. So that is what makes people when people enjoy the organization, they don't readily look for another job because they are enjoying what they have, the packages from the organization. So this evening we'll be looking at one of those things that can make employee to stay long in an organization. So that will make us to introduce to us this evening what is called a loss of employment insurance scheme. I don't know whether we have had it before, but there is an insurance scheme that is called loss of employment. How does that loss of employment, how does it work? Now, what does it cover? It covers when the services of an employee are no longer required. When maybe in an organization, maybe an employee suddenly loses job, in the course of having to look for another job, just like the picture I have here for us, this man has probably suddenly lost the job. So the guy is just downcasted, doesn't know what next to do. It happens to everyone. Maybe you suddenly lose your job, you'll be confused, you'll be perplexed. You are like, oh, where do I start again? You start thinking of how to look for another job. You start thinking, do I look for another job or do I go into business? So in the course of that, there is an insurance that can provide support for you when you lose your employment. What does it do? Okay, it's covered when organization is downsizing. Although the bottom line of what I'm telling us this is that when your job is no longer there, maybe when organization is winding up. So when your present employment is no longer there, maybe as a result of maybe retrenchment, winding up, the company is not active again, it's laying people off. So that is what this loss of employment insurance scheme cover. And it happens that when anyone that is into this scheme, when you lose your employment for the next 2 years, although it will be prorated, like it is prorated into six months, but cumulatively, the next 2 years, you'll be earning an income. Now, the first 6 months, supposing you newly lose your employment, the first 6 months, you will get the full salary. Then the next 6 months, that will make it a year, because it's expected that when you lose your employment, you start looking for another job. So the next 6 months, it will have been prorated, it will have been reduced to like half. Then the other 6 months, it will have been reduced to maybe 25%. Then the last 6 months, the first 6 months will earn 100%. The next 6 months will earn 75%. The top 6 months will earn 50%. Then the last 6 months will earn 25%. So how do I mean that? At least the next 2 years, you'll be earning an income. It does not mean one will now relax about it, but it's just for you, so that while you are looking for another employment, at least something will be coming in. So that is what loss of employment insurance scheme cover. I mean, someone may be hearing it for the first time, but it happens. We have it in Nigeria. If you need it, you only need to contact me. Yeah, I mean, it will be provided for you. So it happens. So you can secure that, so that in case of the loss of employment, you will have something to fall back to while you are thinking of looking for another job. So now let's look at the exclusion. It does not cover resignation. If it is you that willingly resign from employment, I believe we can relate with that. If willingly you tender your resignation letter, maybe you're like, oh, after all, I have loss of employment insurance. No, it will not cover it. When we started this program, I've always been making us understand that insurance does not cover intentional loss. Insurance cover unintentional loss. I believe we can all relate with that. Insurance does not cover intentional loss. So if you, on your own, tender your resignation letter, your loss of employment insurance will not cover it because it's at your own will. Then, if you have attained retirement age, you will get retirement benefits. So your loss of employment insurance will not cover that. So it's an exclusion. Then a criminal act, maybe you commit a fraud in your office, or a form of criminal act. Insurance don't cover criminal activities. So your loss of employment will not cover your criminal activities. I believe we can relate with that. So yeah, I mean, these are the things your loss of employment will not cover. Now, why the topic for today is it's actually relating to the employer. That why would an employer include this as a welfare package? Why do we think what benefits will it be to an employer to include loss of employment insurance into a welfare package? So now, you see, just like I told us when I was introducing this topic, I said if employee, if they enjoy the organization they are working with, they don't leave the place in a hurry. If you are receiving good pay, you have good work package, you will not think of looking for another job. What you need is provided for you in your present employment, you will not be thinking of another job. So what an employer will want to include the loss of employment insurance scheme as a welfare package to save the organization, because of giving an employee a severance package You know, when organization, I mean, ask an employee to go, you know, I mean, there should be a severance package. But if your organization have, if your organization have arranged loss of employment insurance scheme for the members of staff, if for one reason or the other, I mean, the organization is laying off, no, that the organization will not be thinking of, oh, how to get bulk money as severance package. That, oh, we need to pay this person because we are laying them off. It will not be, because the same organization have taken out time to provide loss of employment insurance scheme for the members of staff. I believe we can all relate with that. Then when organization is winding up, maybe the organization have issue, they will not continue operation, and I mean, maybe the company has to fold up. I mean, you know, at that point, before an organization can fold up, I mean, they must have been into a lot of maybe debt and there'll be so many liabilities to settle. So if while the organization is vibrant and they have organized a loss of employment scheme for the employee, I mean, it will lessen their liability. It will lessen their liability. They will not be thinking of, oh, how are we going to pay off this people? Because they know that, oh, the loss of employment scheme will speak for them, because the organization has been magnanimous enough to have put it in place as part of the welfare package. You know, so then another thing is that, you know, it will give the employee the peace of mind that even if anything happens, they know that they have something to fall back, and it will increase the level of commitment. It will increase the level of commitment of employees. You know, just like I told us, if employees are happy, you know, every organization, you have, as an employer of labor, you have two customers. Some employers don't know that. As employer of labor, you have two customers: your external customers and your internal customers. Your external customers are those ones that patronize your services or your products. Those ones that through them you generate income for the organization. Your clients, your customers, your outside customers, that purchase, that patronizes the organization, that buy what you offer. But your internal customers are your employees. Just like organization can grow when your revenue increases as you have more customers. Even your internal customer, who are your employees, they can destabilize the organization if they are not happy. If your employees are not happy, they can also pull down the organization. They may become bad image of the organization. They may be somewhere and be talking about the organization negatively, and maybe the next customer that wants to do big business is there. I mean, you say, oh, if it is that company, I'm not going there. But if employees are okay, anywhere they are, they'll be happy to say, oh, in my organization, we enjoy this benefit, we enjoy that benefit. They'll be happy to see it anywhere they are. So your employee can either make your company or mar your company. So if when employers of labor, when organizations understand, when they understand this concept, they will be able to know that, oh, the welfare of the employees are also, of great importance. So that is how it will benefit the employer. If employer organize or put in place as part of their welfare package loss of employment insurance scheme. I believe we can all relate with that. So what have I discussed this evening? I've discussed with us loss of employment insurance scheme. Apart from organizations, even as individuals, you can pick up for yourself. Even if your organization is not picking it up for you, you can decide to pick it up for yourself. The loss of employment insurance. You can pick it up for yourself, that in case anything happens to your present employment, while you are looking for another job, you will still be receiving an income. So even personally, one can put that in place. It's part of your financial planning, that in case you suddenly lose your employment while you are still looking for that job, your loss of employment insurance will speak for you. It will, your monthly earning will not be truncated. Your monthly income will continue even if you do not have job again, at least for the next 2 years. You know, I've explained to us that next 2 years, it is the first 6 months that you enjoy the full package. Then the following 6 months, you enjoy 75% of it. The other 6 months, you will enjoy the 50%, and the last 6 months, 25%. So that's how it is done, because it is expected that at least during those periods, we would have been able to get another employment. So that's how loss of employment insurance scheme, that's how it operates. And it is of benefit to employer if it could be included as welfare package, so that it will motivate, it will boost the morale of the employee, and it will make the employee to have, it will increase the commitment of the employee to their job. And as individuals too, we can also pick up loss of employment insurance scheme. I believe we all understand what I have discussed with us this evening. I want to leave out this type of question. We all know that this is an interactive session with Grace Ujo. So I always leave out time for anyone that wants to ask questions or you want to contribute to what I have discussed, so you can rub minds together. I want to pause now and ask for questions. Do I have anybody in the room? And if you are watching me live, you can give your comments. I really appreciate that. Thank you everyone for watching and for your time listening. So I need response now. Anyone that wants to contribute or you want to ask question? Okay. Okay, Omotola, kindly unmute and ask your question. Thanks for joining me this evening.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Madam. Thank you for this presentation on job loss insurance.
Okay.
I actually, didn't know that, employers can actually take it out for their employees. I know job loss, insurance, is available for individuals, who are in, but I actually got to know about the different side of it today, that our employers can actually, take it out for their employees. But my question is, okay, so how would it be arranged? As in, will they arrange it for select members of the workforce, or would they arrange it for everyone, or how would it work?
Okay. Thank you, madam, for that question. It depends on the objective of the organization, and it depends on their capacity. For all the members of staff, since it's a welfare package, as many members of staff that enjoy the other welfare package, they too are entitled to enjoy the loss of employment insurance scheme. Mostly in organization, it is the full staff that enjoy welfare package. Most organizations, they don't include contract staff. If it depends on the culture of that organization, if all the members of staff that enjoy other welfare package, of course, we enjoy that other ones too. So that is how it is arranged. You give to all your other members of staff that are enjoying welfare package. And have I been able to answer your question, madam?
Hello, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You have, thank you. Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Mr. Peter.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you, madam, for the wonderful presentation again today.
Thank you,
This being able to understand the welfare package for employees, and also the benefits the with the employers. But the question is this, that in an economy where we have surplus labor, where the employer is an employer is aware that, look, if the employee, if they go, I can easily get other people from employment pool. And how do you think such an employer want to do a kind of skill? Because we operate in labor market that there's free entry and there's a free exit. And looking at the kind of agreements between employee and employer, there's no firm agreement that says the contract cannot be terminated. And if the contract is terminated, everybody knows what his responsibilities are. That is, the employer knows what the responsibilities are, and the employees also know what their responsibilities are. Now, this wise, don't you think that it's going to increase the cost for the employer? And again, in a situation where we have downtime or that side of the economy where increasing costs every day can actually affect the income generating capacity of the employer. I give an example in manufacturing sector where all of a sudden inflation rates goes up, cost of production go up, and the employer has no choice other than to downsize. Now, if the employer downsizes and you still want to incur this type of cost for the employee, it increases the cost because it's looking for the way to reduce its cost. And you say that insurance company will be able to pay the employee the commensurate income to the employee that have been laid off, or employee that have been sacked, or employee that have been relieved of their employment, the amount that will be enough for them to sustain them for the period that they're going to get another job. And what happens in case they cannot get another job, in case of this our economy that nobody is sure of anything? So the follow-up question is, what is the duration for which the insurance company can pay somebody that has lost his job? I don't know whether you really get the question I'm trying to ask.
Thank you, sir. Just like I've said, because of my presentation, I said for the maximum period of 2 years. No, I've stated it that the person will be paid for 2 years, but it will not be the full salary that will be paid for at a stretch for that 2 years. The first 6 months will enjoy the full salary. Then the next 6 months you enjoy 5%. No, I've highlighted that in the course of the presentation, that it's as the year goes by, the amount reduces. Now, talking about, you cited the example of like a construction company or something like that. You know, just like I said, when the organization have to lay off, when they lay off people, they will be thinking of the severance package. But if the same organization have taken out time to put loss of employment insurance scheme in place when the organization is okay, before they run into the problem of having to lay off, they know that they have put in place loss of employment insurance for their members of staff. So it is that loss of employment that will speak for the staff. So far, it is that the organization that lay off the employees. But if it is the employee that send that resignation letter, the employee will not enjoy loss of employment insurance scheme because he did not lose the job. He resigned his appointment. But if the if the loss of job, if the stoppage, if the employee has to stop working because the organization asked him to stop, the loss of employment will speak to that. So it is cost effective for the organization to put loss of employment insurance scheme in place than to be looking for huge amounts of money to pay as a severance package. I believe you understand my question, my response, sir. So if you look at it, if you look at the cost analysis, I mean, side by side, no, it depends on the organization. They would have done that. I mean, when you look at it, the cost, you always know that the cost of insurance premium is always very small. You pay little premium to enjoy, I mean, big benefit. That is what insurance is all about. So the cost of putting down the premium, and when maybe the now downside, maybe the company now has issued the now downside, and they are now looking up. No, by that time they will have so many liabilities. So it should not be part of their headache to be thinking of severance or the benefit to pay the employee, because they have put in place loss of employment insurance scheme. I believe I'm able to answer your question, sir.
Yes, the follow-up question is this.
Okay, sir.
As an employer, so how many years premium will you allow to be paid before your employee can benefit from this compensation?
Okay.
Is it possible that if as an employer, just an hypothetical example,
okay, sir,
if I pay my premium this year and next year I lay off all my staff, that okay, just go, because you can't go with the cost still be. Will the insurance still be responsible for that? Or there is a certain number of years that you have to pay premium before the employee can be entitled to being compensated?
Okay. Thank you, sir, for that question. The minimum duration before the loss of employment insurance scheme can speak is 1 year. After 1 year, the scheme must have been running for 1 year. So after 1 year, if anything happens, the employee will enjoy the benefits. Have I answered your question, sir?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Do I have another person in the room who wants to ask question? If you are watching me online, you can chat, just send the message, I will respond to it after now. Thank you very much. Okay.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, madam. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for the lecture.
Thank you, ma'am.
My question is, okay, with what I've been able to understand from today's interactive session, the topic you brought today is the fact that is it okay to just now take it that this insurance is meant for employers only? Is it possible for an individual to go into it, or is just meant for employers? Thank you. That's my question.
Okay, thank you, Ma. In the course of my presentation, I said that as an individual, doing your own personal planning, your personal, you can pick it up as an individual.
Okay, I think I didn't get it. That was a network issue along the line.
Okay, and even as clubs, members of clubs, it can be part of the incentive you give to your members. You can form groups. Even some employees, if the organization is not doing for them, they may come together and say, oh, let's plan our future by ourselves. Employees, they can gather together in clusters and pick up the scheme. It's a scheme actually. So it can be, the group of 5, a group of 10, they can come together and say, oh, we want to do it. So it's not only as an employer, but it's why I pick it up is that it boosts the morale of employees, so they get to know that such benefits exist in their organization. Imagine, I know of some organizations that pay spouses. You know, maybe you are, as a man, your wife is not working in that company, but the employer still pay some stipend to your wife. I mean, such organization will do you think the employee will want to leave the place, I mean, in a hurry? No. They are getting their own full salary, and something is still going to their spouse. I know of organization in this country that pay spouses stipend apart from the salary. So all these are forms of incentives, welfare that can boost the morale of employees in that organization. And even the employers are including others. He knows that he will get the best out of the employee, and that at the end of the day, to maximize the profits. I mean, so every businessman is in business to make profit, to maximize profit. So anything that will make them to mop up more profit, of course, they want to go for it. I believe I've been able to answer your question now. Our time
yes, you have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We need to go now. So I really want to appreciate everyone that have joined me in today's meeting. So next week is another time. Let's meet again next week between hours of 5:30 and 6 p.m. on Wednesday next week. I really appreciate everyone that have joined me, and I say do have a great evening. If anyone have any insurance needs, kindly reach out to me. My contact on the screen, and you can always reach out to me when you get to my blog, my YouTube. My past recordings are there. You know, you can always reach out to me on 08026940605. I'll be glad to attend to all your insurance needs. Thank you, and do have a great evening, everyone. Thank you, Madam Omotola, for joining me. Akim Pagbero, Life, everyone, Mr. Peter, Madam Wande, Mr. Baba Femi, everyone that has joined me, I say thank you, and do have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Recording stopped.